Hey guys, what's up? It's Erin here. I'm gonna be a little quiet today. My dad's trying to take a nap down there, so we're gonna be a little quiet. Alright, so today I was able to snag a little more foundation. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Normal to Oily Foundation in the shade 105 Fair Ivory. Shabam, if it'll focus. Hey, it won't focus on that, but we've got that. And then I don't know if I showed you these before, but I have another Wonder Blender from the AOA Studio series on Shop Miss A. You be the judge. It's not as soft as the other one, so bear with me here. We are going to be using it today, however, and we're going to be using it to apply this bad boy. So we're going to see what happens. I'm going to pour it onto this plate here and pray it works. But before we do that, we're going to put on a little bit of primer. So I'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit here. So we have a little bit, yes honey. Okay, so that's the AOA Studio Wonder Skin Poreless Primer. So we're going to put a little bit of that on, and I did just get out of the shower, so if that's why I'm a little red, well, that's why I'm a little red. So go ahead and bring out the primer onto your fingers. Now, actually, I was at Target earlier, which is where I got the foundation from, and one of the ladies that was sitting there, she was like, oh, you know, dealing with different things like that. And she's just like, oh, these different things are out there. And, you know, I was like, oh, have you ever tried this? And she's like, no. So, I, of course, let her know I had a beauty channel, of which you are a part of now. And she was really cool about that. And yeah, she just wanted to keep talking, and I'm like, that's totally cool, because we're just talking about stuff that works. So, alright, so the primer is on. Now, this is gonna sound a little weird, but I did shave my face. Apparently that's supposed to make things look a little nicer for you. I don't know. We're just gonna go with it and worry about it later. Alright, so that is there, and before I get too excited, we're going to use the L'Oreal La Palette Nude Intense, I'm sorry. So it looks like this. You guys have seen me use it before, but I figured we'd try a little something because it's Mother's Day. We'll try. My mom is no longer with me, so it's a little hard. But we're gonna get there. So also, and I forgot to tell you, we're gonna prime the eyelids, and there's a different thing that we use for that. This is the AOA Studio Perfect Eyeshadow Primer, and this one is in Glow. I like it to glow, and you can probably tell. So it comes out like that, just a little applicator, and you just stick a whole bunch on your eyelid. Just the upper eyelid. You got concealer for the other one, which we'll talk about in a second. I like to rub mine in with my finger. You want to do it some other way, more power to you. I mean, it's a little different than you know, just rubbing it straight in. Okay. So now that we have that on, we're going to go ahead and go into the AOA Studio Wonder Cover HD Concealer in the shade Porcelain. I mean, yeah. I'm going to shake her up a little bit. And then, I mean, it's a big applicator, so, I mean, it's not the Tarte Shape Tape, which I've never used. I know some of you are probably like, what? Yeah, I am putting the concealer on before the foundation. For some reason, I figured out that that looks a little better for me. So I'm taking the big AOA sponge here, And I'm just gonna stab my eye away, you know. Alright. And it gets dirty really quick. I don't know that I'm a fan of that. Okay, so we got that all nice and dirtified. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour some of this onto our plate. Alright, and after that we'll do brows and all that stuff, but she's brand new. I tap it off just to pop up that bubble. There we go. Let's pray we put on enough amount, but not too much. Yeah. It's a little thicker than last time I used this. Okay, so we have this. And it looks like that. So we're going to take the fat end. Yes, the fat end. And I'm just going to dip it. Looks like this. And here we go. Oh my gosh, you're cold. Okay. I'm gonna go a little gentler here, because I don't think smacking my face around is gonna help. I've been holding in sneezes all day, so I got no clue what's going on there. If I move closer, it's because I have a mirror right here. Ooh. This is not bad at all. Actually, what? I keep feeling like a hair on my face. What? Well, there was a hair, it just wasn't mine. Alright, so I'm just gonna keep stretching this out a little bit. This is actually kind of impressive. It's making the product go a little further than I thought it would. Gonna go dip really lightly and sort of get some coverage. Now I actually do put it on my eyes too, even though I put a primer on. For a while, I don't really know why I started doing that, but it's one of those days. What the heck? That's what happens when you live with dogs. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm just like pressing, guys, like pressing that in there. My goodness. Push in. Push, push, push. Okay. Get a little bit more for the, guys, for the forehead, dear word. This is crazy, 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 crazy. Alright. Get some on the eyebrows, because we're doing brows. And actually, it helps it stay on. Or at least it does for me anyway. Do not move forehead while applying foundation. Got it. Up the nose. Okay. Gonna gather that last little bit. Stick it anywhere you're having some extra issues. Oh my. Apparently my eyelids are my extra issues. I just keep punching them in the face. Okay, so. Always make sure to get your neck. Yeah, anyway. Alright, so that's done. And since we already put concealer on, we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and place this over here. And we're going to use a little bit of my original brushes, plus a mixture of the AOAs that I got just recently. So let's go ahead and pull that out. See, I'm pulling out brushes like, hello. The AOA did have these. These are different eye brushes, so we're probably going to be using a lot of those, plus a little bit of the ones that I already have. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this. Remember, We're doing L'Oreal La Palette Nude Intense. Alright, so as we do that, I look at my brows and remember you haven't done your brows yet. So I'm going to go in with some brow mascara as well as a little bit of brow pencil. We're going to do this first. It's the AOA Studio Sculpting Brow Pencil. It comes with a spoolie on one end. And the actual makeup, the application, on the other end. Sorry, I know I have horrible posture. Okay. And then onto the brows. A little nicer than that. Okay. I'm gonna scroll it back in, go back to the spoolie. Okay. Now I'm going to put on a little bit of AOA Studio Go Brow Mascara, and these are both in the shade Taupe. Because, as you can see, and I'll do a little thing after this to show how much of my blonde has gone in since I started using Halo Beauty. We will talk all about that, but not right now. Alright, when you put this in, like, scrape off the excess because, honey, you do not need that much on your face. Alright, so here it goes. I know it's intimidating, but you got this. Like, barely touching it. Should have followed my own advice on that one and barely touch it, but oh well. So we're going to go ahead and go back into the spoolie end and blend this. Blend it up. Alright. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, so off we go. Away the brow product. Away with you. Alright, so let's now go into the palette, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and use my typical brushes first. So this is my first ColourPop brush ever. And I want to start off with a good transition shade. So I'm going to start off with this guy right here. ColourPop brush. You're going to want to either pat in or sort of rub against it. You're going to knock off your excess and start to apply. And you can see a little bit of pigmentation, but not a lot. Which is fine because you don't need a lot of pigmentation with your transition shade, so that's just a tip that I've learned from doing this so much. So if you feel you need to do it differently, do it differently. It's your eyeball. Well, eyelid. Okay, so we've got that. Gonna clean it on my arm. And then I want to go ahead and do a little something different here. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this shade. But then we're going to mix it with a different shade, so just bear with me here. So I'm going to use the same brush, gather some of that pigment, and I'm just going to go onto the lid itself. We're not going to go too crazy. Okay. Alright. So what I'm going to do is actually retire this brush in a second with one of my new AOAs. Okay, so you see that. So I'm going to retire that brush and I'm going to go ahead and use one of these. Now I just want to fluff in some color. I don't want to pound it in, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and there we go. It's stained, but it actually has no like actual product in it left. So this is the AOA Studio E128, and it's from their Pop Ha collection. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take this shade right here, and I'm going to apply that into the outer corner and then into the crease. So gather a good bit, knock it off with... See, I like to do this first, and then sort of use circular motions to really blend it. And then do it again, so really lightly. I know it's been a little bit since I did a tutorial, and I'm really sorry about that, guys. Just been one of those situations lately. So, and you can see the pigment is building, building. Now, I actually really like this. This is really, really good. Okay. Haven't used this palette for a while, so bear with me here. Alright, so that, ooh. Okay. Not bad. So now I'm going to do an even darker color. I'm going to go ahead and do this one and then this one. So I'm going to grab another Fluff brush. So this one's of the same line. This is the AOA Studio E127, and it's very fluffy. So again, we're going to go into this shade first, and we're going still in the crease. So let's just gather a little bit of product, and then I'm just gonna, ooh, yep, well that's pigmented alright, maybe a little too pigmented, dang. So just take this and actually start to work it onto your other eye as well. That was a lot of product. We can make it lighter, so don't worry about that. Alright, bringing back the product around here. Alright. You can even use your finger a little bit to lighten up the load. Wow, okay. So, this brush is going to be retired. So I'm going to go in with a ColourPop fluff brush. And then that is where I'm going to apply this darkest shade right here. Bear with us. Okay. Knock that off. And keep going. And apply in here. Alright. So that is all that we're going to do for the lid, except we are going to put a little bit of sparkle in it. A little pizzazz, if you will. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is actually, I'm going to take this first shade again, and I'm going to use one of the AOAs. So, not that one, my dear. Not that one. I'm going to use this brush right here. And this is the AOA Studio E129. And I'm going to go ahead and use that to do the shine. And here we go. You want to pop it right there. You go. Right there, center of the lid. Really lightly. And even if you want to do this, you can even place a little bit onto your brow bone. So, I know it's going a little different, but I actually do want to put a little bit of this shade on the brow bone, and I'll use the same brush to do it. Now this is more of a matte shade, but just having that lighting, just that light touch is gonna do the trick. Now I'm gonna take another brush and I'm gonna feed it down under that lash line. So I'm gonna use this brush right here. This is the AOA Studio E131. And I'm gonna go ahead and take this shade here and I'm gonna apply that right under the lower lash line. And just really get in there. I'm sorry, I can't focus, like talk and do that at the same time. So we got that. Okay, so you see. And now we're gonna go ahead, like that's all I'm gonna do. And we're gonna go ahead and put on some eyeliner. That should be fun. So I'm using one of the waterproof eyeliners that I got off of Shop Miss A. Unfortunately, I cannot read the brand anymore because it came off. There's a reason it was $1. I mean, the product itself is really good, but okay. So you get this little sticker there. You want to scrape off as much product as possible because if you don't, you'll overdo it. Alright, so here we go here. Actually, I'm going to zoom you in a little bit here. There we go. So here we go. Just paint a thin line over here. Dun, dun. And then go back in and remove that. And now we're just going to go ahead and travel this a little bit. Whew. Alright, so there we go. I know this video is getting long, so I'm gonna let you go soon, trust me. Alright, so we're gonna do this a little bit because we want that to dry before we curl them. Okay, so that means we're gonna go into the rest of the face. Alright, so let's zoom you back out a little bit. So I have the e.l.f. blush palette. It's the powder blush palette. And it looks a bit like that. So I'm going to take a ColourPop brush, clean it around a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and take this blush right here, pat it in a little bit, and here we go. Just want to be nice and genteel with it. Awesome. Okay. If it doesn't look right, use your brush to smooth it out. Okay, so that's all we're going to do with that one. And yes, we're going to use a little bit of highlighter. So let's see, are you a highlight? Girl, you ain't a highlighter. You, on the other hand, are. So this is called Yummy Cookies. It's a ColourPop Super Shock Cheek. And it's a bit shiny here. So I'm going to take a little bit of this and apply it onto the cheek. So it's got a good color payoff. Oh yeah. Just throwing a ton of it on my hand. Just touch it a little bit. And this can come right off. Alright, and then I'm going to put a little bit on my nose. And that's all you have to do. There we go. So we're going to put that lid back on. Ooh, as we stab it, of course. Alright, so now we can actually go into the mascara. So we're going to take our lash curler here. Do it really quickly. And really quickly. And now I'm going to use the Maybelline Great Lash in Black is Black. I'm just going to do the bottom lid first. So here. Alright. That is some pressure. Ooh. Okay, so that's one. And, oh, a little too close apparently. And then, so this, you decide. But now I'm going to go in with a little bit of a lip. I'm going to go ahead and make this really bold and do a red lip. So this is the Maybelline Red Revival in 645. And it looks like this, ladies and gents. So here we go. Okay. Alright, so this is what she looks like. So, this is it. Actually, this is the look. So, yep, we get to see the eyes. Blush came on real nice. Nice highlight. The red lip works really well. I like the bow that we're dealing with here. So, I mean, I feel pretty. Alright, but this is the look. So if you want to do this look, or you wonder about other looks that I can do, please leave them in the comment section below. Hit subscribe. When you hit subscribe, a bell will pop up. Click that bell and it'll notify you every time I post a new video. And if you watched this and you loved it, thank you. Please put that down in the comment section so I can see it. And I will reply back to anything that I need to reply back to. Alright guys, love you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye!